What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of We Need to Talk. My name is Marcus K. Jr. Tonight's episode is number 425, and what we're going to be talking about briefly, doing a brief live right now, is who needs to be cut off. And I bring this up due to the fact that a lot of times, when it comes to dating, when it comes to relationships, we don't often know how to adequately prepare ourselves for the person that we want or the situation that we want. So a lot of times we have a soulmate in mind, a certain lifestyle in mind, but as a single person, we often keep ties with certain people. We keep connections with certain people. We keep certain people in our phone that I would argue are incongruent with our goals, and which will make it very difficult for us to not only come in contact with the right person, but to not be in a position of having too many competing energies in our life and to even make that person clear. And I think we can cloud our own vision and crowd the path for that right person to ever get in contact with us, because due to fear, due to nostalgia, due to scarcity mindset, whatever you want to call it, we have a tendency sometimes to keep connections, people, situationships, exes, so on and so forth, in our phone, in our midst, in our communication sphere, in our energy field, giving them access to us that almost acts preventative from us being in a space to meet the one. And I think when it comes to the one, we have to be in a fearless position, which is why I always talk about the intersection of fear and imbalance, and how fear drives imbalance. And a lot of times it drives us to be incongruent, and in essence, our own enemies, our own worst enemies. When trying to accomplish certain things, sometimes we are the very ones that stand in our own way. A lot of times we'll say it's odds, it's statistics, it's men, it's women, it's new age, it's these different things. But in all actuality, it starts with us first. Let me shout out everybody in the room. I see you, Wilmer Black, Tay, what's up? Taja, what's going on? Nancy, good to see y'all. So again, it's going to be a brief one, but I wanted to make sure that I got into this, because there can be a fear of disconnecting, a fear of clearing that board. What is so bad about creating a space where everybody in our connection, and everybody in our circle, everybody in our access space is reciprocal, supportive of our energy, is not confusing, is not conflicting, doesn't have conflicting energy, isn't pressing us to get with them or pressing us to do things we don't want to do, or standing in opposition of that right one that we're looking for. So we have to be 100% scrutinizing when it comes to who we keep around us, who we keep in our friends. And this is just friends. This is blurry lines. Some of us have connections with people who there's not really a definition for. There's not really a label for. They might be in our lives purely because if we feel like we disconnect, or if we get into a position where we actually disconnect from them, that makes us really alone, right? The gravity of the sense of feeling alone or lonely only sets in when we get rid of all the possibilities or all of the potentials, when we know that those potentials and possibilities will never rise to the occasion to fulfill all of the standards that we're looking for. So that's how we rationalize it, right? So, but not knowing that everything we want is on the other side of fear. Everything we desire is on the other side of fear, meaning there's going to have to be certain things that we do that we are scared to do, that we have not done before, that will place us in the right space to grow ourselves and to manifest the types of people that we require or that we're asking for. And so if we want the one to walk on the path to us, we have to move some people off of the path first. It's a crowded block. And we have to have strict criteria on who's going to have open access, because sometimes we keep people around who have an agenda, who aren't there to help you, support you unconditionally. They're looking for something. They're looking to have you do something for them. They're looking for a certain outcome, and that's not the outcome you want. So why would you be in frequent communication with somebody who has an opposing agenda to you? That leaves you in a space where you're constantly having to stand your ground and fight for and defend your current space. You don't have to do that with reciprocal, unconditional, loving individuals around you. You don't have to do that with them. But you have to do that with people with competing agendas. The only reason you would keep somebody with a competing agenda is nostalgia and fear. That's really it. So do what's uncomfortable, do what's difficult, and know that you will feel all the more empowered for doing so, because that's the name of this game. You don't get to happiness without moving against fear. You don't get to happiness without doing things that will ultimately empower you and raise your confidence. How do you know what it's like on the other side of chopping somebody off, getting somebody out of your mix? That's spring cleaning. That's part of the process. That's purging toxicity. We can't complain about toxic cycles if we're unwilling to purge the toxicity out of our lives, out of our phones, out of our space, out of our social media, right? We are all the access points that keep us connected to our past and people who are against our progress, instead of opening the lane for our future. We can't clog the runway and then be asking God when he's going to let the right one land. That person can't land because the runway is crowded. You need a safe landing. You have to pave the way for the one. You have to pave the way for the life that you want, and for the reciprocal, unconditionally loving individuals to be a part of your life. You have to clear a path for them to arrive, and you have to be unafraid of getting rid of everything and anybody who stands against your progress, your growth, and your evolution. So salute to all of y'all, man. Happy Memorial, whatever weekend this is. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. Hopefully you guys are going to be around family, be around loved ones. So continue to stay positive. Continue to work against fear. Make sure you guys click the link in my description box if you are looking for coaching or to connect with me in any way with any of the things I have going on. And keep being great. And keep being unapologetic about protecting that greatness and that energy. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you share. And I will see y'all tomorrow night.